Welcome to Beneath the Skin, a podcast where we peel off the layers and we focus on what is underneath the skin. I am Alex, and with me today is Siji. And if you were to look to my right, you would find our guest for today. He goes by Chris Emejuru. Now, Chris Emejuru is an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, an author. He sits on the board of the International Trade Council, and he's also an aspiring politician. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you. Great. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. All right, and today we're going to be talking about two different things. The first is our topic of today, which is why are we still together? And the second part is going to be our interview with Chris to get to know who Chris really is. But let's get this started. So, Siji, let's get this started. Our topic today is why are we still together? And we're going to be tackling a story, right, that just came in recently and straightforward, right? We get this beautiful story from someone who says, "Dear CG and Alex,
What's up? How you doing?"
Thank you for the show. It's a different type of show, and I would like to share a few things that bother me. And it goes by, she says, I believe it's a she now, "He forced himself on me the night I said no. He said it was right. We are married. I bled, I cried, and he prayed over me after. Now he wants a baby. Everyone calls him a godly man. I'm just tired of bleeding in silence. Is this what marriage means?" So the question here today is so many things in one letter. What I see, from my opinion, is I see marital manipulation, spiritual manipulation. I see rape, marital rape. I see silence and performance. But again, we do not judge viewers. We just speak our opinions and we share what we think is right. So, CG, up to you. Can there be rape in marriage, culturally, religiously, and emotionally?
I would have thought that because we have a guest, it should have been nice for him to start.
Oh, see, that's why you're the man.
I'm a gentleman, so it's okay. So I think I'm going to trade to you.
So we're going to trade to Chris. What do you think?
I mean, rape is rape, I guess, in a way, regardless of cultural or religious or otherwise. It's an act that is, in my opinion, an abomination that shouldn't happen.
Okay.
And it's not appropriate, regardless, especially whether culturally, religious, or otherwise. Okay. So I don't agree with it, so I should really agree.
Yeah, but not in marriage where they're married.
Right.
Should there still be consent in marriage between both partners?
Yes, it should be. It should be consensual. Okay. It should be consensual. Like I said, rape is an abomination whether you're married or not married. Okay. It should all be consensual. Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. I mean, he said it all, very brief. But I would have said that if there were in a developed country, she could have had him arrested. But luckily, in Nigeria, there's been a lot of cases where women go to court to report their husbands being, sex addict or forcing themselves on them, and they don't want it, and they end up dissolving the marriage. So, if you ask me, it's totally wrong because you guys, it's a partnership. It's just the issue about this is most. What country is this from?
This is Nigeria.
Oh,
yeah, this is Nigeria.
Very good, because I can't talk for other countries.
Yeah, in the UK, I'll tell you, no means no. And if you want one more pulse or once anything after the no is said, that is rape in the UK that I know of.
Right, you know, because I think most African, I mean, you know, back then and now, not most, but a lot of African men believe so much in patriarchy.
True.
Right, they feel like, look, listen, I am the head of the family. I'm in charge. You're just a woman. So women are more marginalized.
Okay.
Right, in Africa, Nigeria.
Okay.
So, and I'm Nigeria because when I say Africa, I don't know how it is in Ghana. I don't know how it is. I've not researched that, but I can talk about where I'm from. You know, so women are mostly marginalized, and you know, men. It's not like it's intentional. It's a cultural. It's culturally conditioned.
Okay.
You know, to believe that, look, yeah, we're in charge, right? We are the head of the family. When I want it, I want it. I don't care what you think. You know, you are subjected to the kitchen. You're subjected
the other room.
The room, right? Yeah, the other room. You're subjected to taking care of the children. You don't have a voice. Nobody's listening to you. You feel, and in such cases, you know, Nigerian women mostly that I know, I know a few men that have been through this, and most of them can't even leave the marriage because they're like, so what's will the society say? You know, they don't want to be, laughed at, right?
Yeah.
You know, and again, then religion come into it, and like you have to, whatever your husband wants, you have to give it to him. You know, and there's a societal norm too, or traditional norm that believe that, look, if I mean, there are different cultures in Nigeria that, like, if he rapes you. I mean, he's in charge. You know, he's the head of the family. But I think we've gotten to a stage or a century or continent, or I mean, not continent, a time where, you know, you should, as a woman, should be able to raise your voice. People are willing to listen. Your voice is, you know, going to help other women that are going through this to be able to fight and stand up and, look, I'm not alone in this. You know,
absolutely.
Right. So you could, you know that, oh, there's somebody going through what I'm going through, and the right thing to do is fight. I understand that maybe if you lose the marriage, you know, you feel like you have to start from scratch.
Okay.
And then you feel like, how am I going to take care of my children? Because I don't work. You know, today's society, which is still happening, even here in the United States, like most women are, you know, because they have to stay home to take care of the kids. So they're housewives. But in that case, I'm like, so what if the husband dies? What's going to happen to you? Okay. Right? So you can't say because he's the head of the family, I have to just take because I have to take care of my children. I insist, we always start from we should always start from somewhere. I mean, the society would back you up, you know, at some point, even though when the talk don't go down, they'll leave you to. But you can't just, at the end of the day, you don't want to be there and, you know, get your last flowers, you know.
Absolutely. Because
if he keeps forcing himself on you and you keep fighting, then he could even beat you and get it. And even in that process of the rape, there could be a lot of issues that could happen, which you might get hospitalized. And, you know, from there you keep getting your flowers. From there until you get your last flowers, and you just go, who's going to take care of your children? So I think now is the time for you to, you know, leave that marriage, you know, and just go back to daddy's home. And if daddy says no, go to that. I'm sure there are different foundations or organizations that are willing to take this woman and, you know, take care. I mean, I know about here. I'm sure they're there in Nigeria. We just don't know about. I'm very sure there are a lot of organizations that are ready to take women and, you know, help them or rehabilitate them and help them, you know, fight for this. So that's my own tukable.
Well, you see, what really got me, and Chris, maybe if you want to share this, is in that letter, you know, she said he prayed over it. He prayed over me, and he said, we are married.
But before you go, it sounds like food. Like, the brother just prayed over the food.
He prayed over it. So does prayer or any religious rite cancel out or remove rape in marriage? Interesting.
I think it's mental illness because I think it's mental illness because I don't think there's any religion that will support that. I mean, maybe back in the days, but now I don't think it's even right. Like, I think the guy is sick. You pray over it and you force yourself.
Yes, and she said no.
No, it needs help. Right.
But now let's picture this again in the Nigerian setting, because I think I've also had other stories whereby a woman ran to the police station and reported that her husband raped her. And the officers, or some of them said, in Pidgin, for example, now who raped you? My husband. And they just laughed and said, the East, and said, what nonsense? Your husband.
Right.
Your husband. That's your husband. How can you say your husband raped you? And they drove her away. Until this continued. Every time she would say no, and it continued. And I think what we then heard was that one day she, took him out.
Took him out, like
murdered him, practically. He was rest in peace.
All right, sis.
And now she's now being charged for murder.
Self-defense. What happened to self-defense?
And that's what she's saying. That several times she said no, but the case is history. I think is in the courts now. But that tells you the type of justice system we also have. It tells you how mentally conditioned or traditionally conditioned our own police officers who are meant to protect us and protect those who may be vulnerable, how their mindset has also been culturally, messed up as well. So with that said, we don't want to flog on this for too long. And, to all viewers out there, if you're experiencing any form of, rape, any form of, oppression, regardless of if you're married or not, your voice matters, and no means no. Please speak out, speak up. I believe there are lots of organizations out there that are there to support you. And also, and it goes both ways again, not just women. There's some men too who I believe would say no, even though people would laugh at this and say, which man would say no? But there's some men who are like, I'm not in the mood. And regardless of what nightgown you may put on, or, however it may be, you've got to respect his no as well, because we are two human beings, or both of you are two human beings, regardless of gender as well. Just respecting the other person really matters as well. And
before you go, I just wanted to also remind you, like we always do, you guys, it is just
our opinion. There we go.
We are not psychologists, we're not doctors, we're not therapists. We just share opinion. I will believe that we don't want you to throw stones.
Please.
Just throw stones, So this is we just share our opinions here. Don't use Chris's word against him.
Just his opinion, our opinion. Exactly.
So you can always drop your
comments and all of that.
Right. And you just said something about the men too. Like, true, it's not just women that go through this. There are men that go through this. They don't speak up.
They don't speak up because
that's even worse than women coming out, because the guy will be like,
in our tradition,
I would go out to tell people, laugh at me.
Absolutely,
bro, man,
absolutely.
You gotta always find your way out. So that's,
and it also boils down to, in certain places which we will talk about down the road, whereby you hear that, men get sexually harassed.
Right.
But when you say that in a Nigerian or cultural setting, people will laugh at you like, man, how can a woman be sexually harassing you? How is that? But the truth is, we're all humans, regardless of gender or our sex. And what is wrong, we believe is wrong.
Indeed.
Now, to conclude this, we're going to be asking the question, what does it mean to be loved right? And how do you know when it's time to go? Chris, I'm going to throw this to you. What does it mean to be loved right? And how do you know when it's time to go?
Well, I would say in any relationship, you're going, you accept there's an agreement, an invisible, unofficial agreement between the two partners that is saying that, we care about each other, we love each other, we want to be with each other, we won't hurt each other, because that's why we're together in the first place. So that's what I believe, that if that agreement is broken, then it's time to relinquish, it's time to end that relationship and move on and go. So that's my opinion.
Keep in mind, even in our traditional African Nigerian setting, whereby divorce is seen as a taboo, do you still, your opinion, do you still push for when the agreement is broken, it's time to go? Or do you believe in till death do us part, for better, for
Again,
worse?
It depends on what you believe in. Okay. Some people believe differently. Okay. So I believe it is, yes, I do believe that if you feel the relationship isn't working well, then you should be able to divorce, regardless of the cultural. I know the cultural settings are different between countries, yes, but you're a human being. You have to make a decision that's right for yourself. Believe in your God, but also understand that you're living that, that your agreement is important. It's with God and yourself. So I would just say, do what you feel is right. Do
what is right for yourself.
Exactly. Do what is right for yourself. Absolutely.
Okay. You heard it from Chris. Now we're heading to Siji.
Oh, me? I thought he said it all.
Oh, you got hit on it.
But just to corroborate what he said, you know, I mean, of course, do what is right. Then I know when to leave. But I feel like, you know, the time that you get to realize that that the marriage is working, or you know, you love this person, is probably when there's a partnership, right? And when you guys, when there's no emotional neglect, you don't feel like, you know, you're neglected emotionally, and when there's no, on the guy's side, when it's not feeling like, you know, I paid your bride price and, you know, I own you, but you know, you guys are together and you guys work together, and you know, and you guys, I mean, pray together, and there's consent and not no force, and you know, well, when you're down, you know that okay, it's time to go for therapy, and you guys talk about it and all of that, and I mean, you know that this person is my partner, right? And you guys, you know, share ideas that way. But of course, when the time to leave, that one, do they need to tell you when it's time to leave? Bro, like if it's forcing himself on you, if he's neglecting you emotionally, if you feel like it's the head of the family and he has to get whatever it needs and whatever it wants anytime he wants it, you know, and if he's praying before he forces himself on you, sister, he's praying before that's bro. Is that, are you okay? He's actually okay at home.
He's demented. Okay.
You know, but I was going to throw you the question, like, but I don't want to be too far because we know we're still going to get that. I was like, so. Like, imagine you are the president of Nigeria. You do have every right to change the tradition and cultures and stuff, you know. That's what I'm gonna leave it.
We're gonna get there.
Let me jump there. Let me just relax. Calm down.
So viewers out there, again, this is all our opinion. We don't judge, but I would leave you all with this before we go into the next segment. Is it love if you keep losing pieces of yourself to keep it going? I would reiterate, is it love if you keep losing pieces of yourself to keep the relationship going or working? When is it time to say adios? I'm out. How much conviction are you going to need from your man of God or your pastor or your father or mother when people say, what about the children? Think about the children. Is that enough reason to keep getting abused, humiliated, against your will? For us, for me, your mental health. You matter. You mean a lot. Until we see again, keep thriving, keep trying as we go into the next part of this podcast. Thank you.
Beneath the skin.